Yo, what is good, YouTube? It is First Lesson back with another reaction video, and today we are going to be watching the making of Homogenic. I've been waiting to watch this. Y'all been telling me to check this out, and I have not seen any making of Bjork. So very excited. I hope I'm watching the right video. There's like somebody had a playlist of all 6 parts or something. I'm not sure. But we're just gonna watch it. It's a very old square format video. So it is what it is, but I cropped myself off a little bit so I can get out the way of the beautiful queen. So let's get right into it, man. Let's not waste no time. I'm very excited to see her work her magic or to see anything of her in that time. I have not watched anything but music videos, and even then, that's just that. But it's nothing like seeing the actual thing be created. So let's see what we can get into and be nosy because I am a music nerd and I love stuff like this. So let's do it. Let's get it, y'all.
We live
Hmm.
on a mountain, right at the top.
What's this song?
This beautiful view
It is.
from the top of the mountain. Every morning I walk towards the edge
Mhm.
and throw little things off like car parts, bottles and cutlery, or whatever I find lying around. It's become a habit, a way to start the day.
Ooh. It's hyper ballad. Wow. But this is from Post though. It is what it is. We're just gonna watch.
Wie viele Sängerinnen oder Sänger haben schon etwas zu sagen, geschweige denn etwas Eigenes, auf eine wirklich eigene Art und Weise. Sie teilt sich auf eine völlig einzigartige Weise mit.
I think people are always scared of new things. If you want to make something happen that hasn't happened before, you've got to allow yourself to make a lot of mistakes. Then the real magic will happen. Because if you just play it really safe, you won't get any treats.
You cannot say
I love her
that Björk is
voice.
copying anybody.
Björk kopiert niemanden. Diese Persönlichkeit ist absolut einzigartig. Diese Wärme, diese ganze Lebenseinstellung. Dazu dieses Kinderherz und ihr isländisches Lebensgefühl.
Of being.
I know she was such a sight to see, like performing and going to her concert. I bet it was so fun. Like just seeing her like dance and shit.
I come from Iceland, and this harbor is probably my roots, you know, and the weather and the mountains. For me, this is the heart of Reykjavik.
From Iceland.
I never try to do things that are Icelandic, you know. I don't sort of go out of my way. Just the fact that like all my family 1,000 years back are Icelandic, and I was born here with all those things inside me, and with that face and this body, you know, and with these influences, I think that's enough. I don't have to. It's so much subconsciously there. I don't have to focus on it consciously as well. But yeah, there is a big chunk there. I live by the ocean.
That anchor song.
During the night, I dive into it.
I remember hearing this song.
Underneath all current.
And she sounds that same exact way that she sounds on the album. Very impressive. Oh, oh, he feeling that. Yeah.
This is where I'm staying. This is my home. Well, I always sang since I was a kid. It has always been like my natural reaction to things.
Mm.
My stepfather, who started with my mother when I was 4, and he played me a lot of music and had a lot of time for me. And he used to sit with me every evening sometimes. And we would write down a lot of lyrics. We'd go through things, we'd pick up the chords. And he used to be in a top 40 band in Iceland. Voru vitringarnir þrír frá Austurlöndum. Kaspar, Melchior og Baltasar. They sent me to classical music school when I was 5. And I was there for 10 years.
Wait.
It was very conservative, but I was...
Let me go back real quick.
vitringarnir þrír frá Austurlöndum. Kaspar, Melchior og Baltasar. They sent me to classical music school when I was 5.
Wow.
And I
She
was...
went to classical music school when she was 5? I know somebody said that, but hearing it again is crazy for the proof. 5 years old, you went to classical school? Yo, that's a crazy flex, but damn, that is fucking amazing. I mean, I don't know if that was like a not stressful thing, but I mean, as a kid, you're probably learning it in a very like, educational way, but man, classical music at 5? Oh, that's crazy.
They sent me to classical music school when I was 5. And I was there for 10 years.
10 years. She was there.
It was very conservative, but I was a bit of a rebel. I would do my own little projects in the corner. I would get a lot of freedom. I would talk to a lot of... That's how I got introduced to like Tessa Stockhouse and electronic music. You know, I basically got introduced to all music there is. I mean, in European, at least, let's say 400 or 500 years. And even though I ended up deciding that majority of it was not maybe my cup of tea, at least I knew it existed. So I could, like, say, okay, I've dealt with this, you know? So I
Wow.
think very quickly I said, okay, you got classical music, you got pop, you got jazz, and everybody thinks their stuff is great and the rest is crap. I just really quickly loved introducing my grandparents to Jimi Hendrix stuff, or my mum to classical stuff, or bringing jazz records to school, you know. And then it just kind of came out that when I started being in bands, because I was so kind of obsessed with new things getting made, that I kind of ended up just being on the microphone, you know. But it was very natural process. I've been singing professionally more or less since I was about 11, 12. Góði Guð fari mömmu frá, hún háttar mig og baðar og mér hjá. Svo
What?
klæðir hún mig í náttföt hlý. Guð blessi pabba, ég gleymdi
In
því.
77.
It's a small town and people knew I did gigs, I played flute, I sang. And then this guy wanted to make a children's record. It sold 5,000 copies, which is gold in Iceland.
Hell yeah.
But then they wanted to do... Then it came out in the record company, and the record company was like... they wanted to do another one, but I didn't want to. So I said, okay, that's it. Because I felt very awkward. I was doing interviews and all sort of stuff, and people recognized me in the street and my school. I got much more attention than I wanted before I asked for it, where I think...
And I think that's cool that she noticed that early on. Like she noticed that, like, okay, this is too much. You know, a lot of people just go with it, and then in the end, they like, oh my God, like it's too much. But that is so dope. I wonder, can we find that? Can I find that project? That has to be out somewhere. It has to. 1977, Bjork's first album as from a kid. That is so amazing. Like I'm like I said, I'm getting very like close to her, like as far as like her being one of my favorite artists. Like, and it's hard to find another favorite artist, especially like to put like in like a world that like where I come from is like a lot of like rap music, hip hop, R&B, throwback, new school, um, and artists I choose in my world all have like something unique about them, whether excuse me, it's their voice, whether it's the discography, um, them as a person, like being a likable person is a huge thing for me. Even though I don't know these people at all, but if they give you a certain energy off of just watching them and like seeing her like this, it gives you a connectedness of like I feel like I'm learning about you. That's why I always respect artists who do interviews and have great energy about them. Love this though. This is so informational.
A lot of people don't get the attention till long after they want it. So I immediately sorted out in my head that that's not what I want.
She working hard. She up there sweating bad too. Hair going to the front. She was up there dancing.
Ihre Stimme kann extrem kindlich sein oder absolut befehlend, wie die einer Herrscherin. Diese auf die Spitze getriebenen Emotionen äußern sich in ihrer Stimme.
Ooh, this is a different version of it. Ooh. I love when artists do that, when they make different versions of this one song. Gives you a different way to enjoy it. Like, be creative, like it makes you be like, dang, I like that version, or you feel special when you like at a venue. I think live versions always hit though. Like, it's nothing like the studio versions, but it's nothing like the live version. It's nothing like the other versions of the song. They all live in their own world. But she got that shit on though. Look, all white. Calling me happy. And this is all from the 90s. Y'all see my knee, I'm getting
comfortable.
comfortable.
It's quite a mad century for Iceland. Because like 100 years ago, my grandparents' generation, they were brought up in like mud houses. The lifestyle was like Middle Ages, And then we became independent in 1944. And we became, after World War II, like I think the 5th richest country in the world or something, like really quickly. It developed in maybe 80 years what, say, England has developed in 400 years. It's so quick that it's almost violent.
Right. Ooh.
Iceland was a colony for 600 or 700 years, and it was treated very badly by the Danish. And we were not allowed to play music and dance. It was supposed to be an act from the devil.
There we go.
And so what we got obsessed with was storytelling and the sagas, That's all our culture is basically literature, very literature-based.
Now that is from Homogenic.
Probably the most important music in Iceland was half talking and half
This is a
singing,
beautiful place.
kind of chanting.
Freyðrum ganga fuglar frá, flöktan dranga bjarga, sólarvanga syngja hjá, sálma langa og marga.
What he said.
Bjork, she uses
Björk setzt ihre Stimme auf eine ganz bestimmte Weise ein. Ihre Stimme hat einen ganz bestimmten Klang.
That shit got grass on the
Das
house,
gleiche
on
gilt für
top of
die
the shit.
isländischen Chöre, die die Riemer rezitierten. Es ist keine reine Gesangsstimme, auch keine Sprechstimme. Es liegt irgendwo dazwischen.
Unravel. I like this song too.
Unravels like a ball of yarn the devil collects it with a grin. Our love in a ball of yarn, he'll never return it. Will you come back?
Wow, her voice is crazy here. Ooh. Wow.
Die Frauen der Sagas sind sehr stark und Björk ist eine von ihnen. Man sagt von den Isländern, sie seien als
so
Künstler
happy.
unerschrocken. Sie überlegen sich nicht bei jedem Schritt, was morgen passieren könnte. Sie tun heute, was sie heute tun müssen, und das ist sehr isländisch. Denn wir müssen mit dieser Natur leben, müssen ständig den Elementen trotzen. Wir denken nicht Tag für Tag daran, aber es prägt natürlich unseren Charakter.
I think when you come from a place where nature can kill, I mean, you could literally not be here in a week. That sort of makes you humble, and I think it's healthy. It puts you in your place.
Wow.
If there is such a thing as Icelandic characteristics, we're talking about an individual who's fiercely independent. It's like so self-sufficient. It's like arrogant. And like anarchy is just like some people who invented anarchy like 100, 200 years ago. You know, Icelandic people is like so.
Ooh. What's this? Oh shit!
Die Renaissance der isländischen Musik fand
Yo,
1979.
what is that song? That song is fire. How she on there? He's like, he like kill that shit.
Die Renaissance der isländischen Musik fand
Icelandic
1979-80 statt. Man sprach von der isländischen Punk-Szene. Diese Szene hatte etwas Selbstgemachtes. Es ging dabei nicht um Politik im Sinne von links oder rechts. Wir sangen isländische Texte und beschäftigten uns mit der isländischen Wirklichkeit. Wir brachten unsere eigenen Platten heraus und machten dabei praktisch alles selbst.
It was, you know, very stupid local sense of humor. Bunch of 16-year-old terrorists drinking absinthe that we smuggled from Spain and writing terrible tunes and being arrested a lot of times and having art exhibitions and making our own films and basically our sort of terrorism, if you want. Sort of sabotaging what we thought was really snotty.
Whoa.
I think the people that ended up forming Cook and the Shoe Cube's Bad Taste, they were bound to meet, you know, because in such a small town, having same obsession, basically being terrified of mediocrity. I think that was always been our biggest enemy. Mediocrity, materialism, narrow-mindedness, small-town mentality. And we do anything to break that down.
Wow, bro. The sugar cubes. She is a talented woman, like very expressive and artistic, and I just can't wait to get to her newer stuff, like to see like what she's doing now.
Das Mädchen hat eine Stimme wie ein Eispickel, solch einen reinen Klang. Als die Sugar Cubes mit U2 auftraten, konnte ich in meiner Garderobe die Band nicht hören. Ich hörte nur dieses dumpfe Dröhnen durch die Mauern des Stadions, oder wo wir gerade spielten. Doch diese Stimme konnte ich immer hören. Sie schien Metall, Beton und Glas zu durchdringen. 50.000 Leute und diese Stimme traf mich direkt ins Herz.
Es gab nichts in dieser Art. Die Welt der Popmusik war wüst und leer und plötzlich erschien ein Licht. Zufällig waren das wir. Wir kamen aus Island und hießen The Sugar Cubes. Als ich erfuhr, dass Birthday Single der Woche im Melody Maker geworden war, war meine Reaktion, ach du Scheiße, denn ich wusste, das würde Trouble geben. Junge, wir bekamen wirklich Trouble.
There was like companies that came here and got offered us 60 trillion billions and we just told them all, you know, to F-U-C-K off because we were being terrorists.
Wait, the Sugar Cubes was a group she was in. Oh my gosh, I'm learning so much. Sure was the Sugar Cubes birthday. Oh wow. Active from 1986. That is crazy. Yeah, when did she leave? So she left the Sugar Cubes in 1992. Oh, and then she started doing her solo the year after in 93, and then posting 95 Homogenic. Okay, what? That is so interesting. What? They didn't have a lot of songs, don't look like. Oh, we gotta react to some of their music. I never knew. Nobody said that. Nobody even brung that up. Nobody never rung this up that she was a part of a group. And they have a few albums actually. Wow. And it's an alternative band. Wow. This is crazy. Let me go back a little bit though.
They came here and got offered us 60 trillion billions and we just told them all, you know, to F-U-C-K off because we were being terrorists and all that.
Wait, hold on.
Ach du Scheiße, denn ich wusste, das würde Trouble geben. Junge, wir bekamen wirklich Trouble.
It did prove out to be trouble for us.
There was like companies that came here and got offered us 60 trillion billions and we just told them all, you know, to F-U-C-K off because we were being terrorists and all that. And that took about 1.5 years that we just kept sending them back.
Die Sugar Cubes waren nie darauf ausgewiesen, weltberühmt zu werden. Wir machten das alles nur zum Spaß.
2, even 3 of the Sugar Cubes were probably the most promising poets or writers of Iceland's new generation. And they were finding themselves, they hadn't written a letter for 2 years because they were doing sound checks in like Texas and Alabama and doing guitar solos, and which is kind of funny I mean, it is funny, but it's only funny for so long, you know?
Der ganze Business-Zirkus führte zum Ende der Sugar Cubes. Wir hatten einfach genug. Wir waren Freunde und ehe wir unsere Freundschaft ruinierten, beendeten wir lieber die Geschäftsbeziehung.
I had been making music like for theater, for film, like pop stuff, jazz stuff, experimental stuff, electronic stuff.
Right.
Basically try everything, basically work with everybody in Iceland, but always with other people's visions.
Not her own. This is crazy. She be having that shit on.
It was time for me then to write songs about me. I was 27. I thought, okay, you know, you're a coward if you don't try more things. It was a very big decision to move.
Look you are.
Because of my son, and I'm a really family-orientated person.
Ooh,
when I came to London, I was very looking, and I was very sure that I wasn't gonna do. I was gonna do an album that hadn't been done before. So when the people I was most attracted to, and the scene I was most attracted to when I came here, was people who knew as little as I did about what was going to happen. Not people that already established things, but people that were still trying to sort of enter in the unknown, if you want, and trying to discover something that hadn't been discovered before.
Right.
London is gorgeous because it functions as a brewing pot for people from all over the planet on similar missions to me. And if I don't talk to them regularly and I don't see them play regularly, I just go mad. You know, in Iceland, I was very much the odd one out, you see. I just need to know that I'm not the only one. And the people that ended up in my band, without me planning it, so we're like one person from Iran, one from India, one from Turkey, one from Cyprus, one from Barbados. It's a bit like Immigrants United. For me, the whole Britpop thing and the...
Y'all, I ain't gonna lie. I was about to say, who is that? I'm not gonna lie. I was about to say, who is that? Let me chill.
One from Cyprus, one from Barbados. It's a bit like Immigrants United. For me, the whole
nice over there.
Britpop thing and the Oasis thing and the whole guitar thing is this kind of British scare of losing Britishness and the immigrants taking over in that. English people like the Britpop scene, they just seem to repeating and trying to sort of hold the Victorian flag alive, but it's just, you know, dead, you know. And it don't seem to be doing anything fertile.
Nostalgie ist angesagt. Mit Ausnahme vielleicht auf dem Dancefloor. In den Clubs blickt man in die Zukunft. Deshalb fühlt sich Bjork davon angezogen.
I love that mix.
Feeling all right?
Yeah. I keep coming out, keep missing you. So,
No, I haven't been here for a while.
Good stuff, yeah?
Yeah, one's excellent, like really good underground minimal techno with some really mad lock grooves on it as well, but kind of like sort of 80s disco sort of stuff it sounds like. But this is one from Germany, which is the guy's called Dynamo, which is really, really cool. It's kind of like on that Herbert sort of tip, which is really good.
If she is shopping around.
Sie klappert alles ab. Sie ist die Imelda Markus der guten Ideen.
I love her
Was ist
energy,
verkehrt daran?
man.
So macht man das eben, oder?
He's so giddy
Man schaut
and-
sich um.
You do, isn't it? You just
That's probably somebody you don't want to make mad.
What are you doing? Just obsessed with people with exciting ideas, and it's a bit of a weakness of mine, really. I've got no interest in working with people who just do what I tell them to do. You know, it's just no point. I might as well just do it myself then. So I'd much rather work with people who are just as strong as me and preferably stronger. And so it's like I give 9 billion and they give 9 billion or whatever, and That's the kick.
Sie versteht es, ihre Identität zu wahren, ihren
Damn,
eigenen
bro, yeah,
Stil,
they talking
egal
over
mit
what I'm
wem
trying to
sie
listen to.
zusammenarbeitet. Viele ihrer musikalischen Kombinationen hat es vorher noch nie gegeben.
Oh my God, it sounds so good, this version. Wow.
My favorite album by her. 1993 brachte Bjork ihr erstes Soloalbum heraus. Es machte sie zu einem Weltstar. Ein zweites Album folgte 1995. Doch dann, nach 4 Jahren im Rampenlicht, wurde der Druck zu stark. Auf dem Flughafen von Bangkok reagierte sie sich an einer Journalistin ab.
I had all these songs inside me, and the only way to get them out of my system was to put me in extreme danger. I think you can only do that for so long. So I did that for 4 years, and then it just exploded. When you've gone to that sort of speed of living.
What did I just see? Damn! It's not funny, but it's funny. What just happened?
Was to put me in extreme danger. I think you can only do that for so long. So I did that for 4 years, and then it just exploded.
Ooh, the first smack though is crazy. That was the moment you supposed to ran away. Look. She was like, "No, I'm getting more." Bjork is not playing.
When you've gone to that sort of speed of living, like 9,000 miles per hour, you don't exactly fade down. I think you sort of explode really and crash. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Björk does not need.
Björk braucht es nicht, dass man sie anbetet und verehrt. Wenn die Leute sie auf der Straße anstarren und flüstern, da ist Björk, dann ist das schlimmer für
I
sie,
remember
als man
somebody
es für
saying that
möglich
she
hält.
did that, but
Sie wissen
damn,
nicht,
I did
was
not
sie ihr
think it was about
damit
to pop
antun.
up.
They don't know how much harm they are doing.
Iceland's pop queen leaving her home in West London late this afternoon. Still distressed at the discovery she'd been the target of a crazed fan's attempt to harm her.
It's just kind of a very sad thing, you know, obviously when somebody shoots their face off, you know. It's terrible.
Fans do some crazy
I'm not sure
shit.
if I'll dream very properly for a while.
Must be very frightening.
Pictures of the bomber. His body was discovered after neighbours called police. Bizarrely, he'd filmed himself making the chemical explosive.
People shouldn't take me too literally and get involved in my personal life. I make music for people, you see. Basically, the bomb got sent to my house and I moved away from London and freaked out in Spain. And then I realised it was just kind of one guy who did that, really. You can't blame that on a nation, can you?
What the fuck?
But it doesn't matter. When that happens to you, it doesn't matter what people say to you. There's no logic. It's just when you've gone through that experience, you just want to go and never come back, you know?
Right. I fucking love Bjork, man. Wow, she was scrapping. Shit show. Here we go.
Den größten Teil des vergangenen Jahres hat Björk in Südspanien verbracht, wo sie ihr drittes Soloalbum aufnahm.
Oh, I like them boots.
I think there's something very special about living at the edges of continents, and just feels completely different. And it shouldn't, you know, that you look out the window and you can see another continent over there. And it's just kind of like, it's a really healthy turn on somehow. The idea that every morning you could wake up and literally go to Africa.
Mm.
When I lived by the ocean there, I used to wake up every morning and have to walk for like an hour and like cross. And then I felt like I was in Spain. And then I could work. And I wake up the morning after and I hadn't just grasped the idea. So I had to do that for a month. And then I moved up here to the mountain. And the only way I can take all this in, because it's just so outrageous. And I keep just thinking I'm just looking at a backdrop or something. And it's just like, they're going to pull the curtains in a sec.
That's my shit. That's my shit. Oh, she really in there.
These are the things that I own, that I usually have in my house, where I do all the demos. So we set this up and brought this down to Spain.
I love this. That is so cute.
These are the things that I own, that I usually have in my house, where I do all the demos. So we set this up and brought this down to Spain. When I did debut and post, they were very much like greatest hits of my musical passions for all my life. And I knew it would take 2 albums to do that. That's why I called them debut and post, before and after, of getting rid of the back catalog almost, you know, gracefully.
Before and after. She's spitting so hard right now. I didn't even put that together. I got debut because, you know, you usually put your first album out, they call it your debut album. You know what I'm saying? But then the post, that's crazy. I did not put that together. Wow. Wow.
All my life. And I knew it would take 2 albums to do that. That's why I called them debut and post, before and after, of getting rid of the back catalog almost, you know, gracefully, you know, because you can only move on if you do that, you know. So this is like a fresh start for me. Nice. And that's why I want to call this album Homogenic or Genus or Genius or whatever. I'm still working on that, because it's one flavor. It's just me now, you know, here. And it's going to be, instead of like all these different instruments, it's just going to be beats, strings, and voice.
I love that. I love how she said. I love how she talk. I'm sorry. I'm just geeking out. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, I don't get to experience. I never got to experience this. Okay, I never got to experience this. Like, you know, at all. Not yet. Like, I don't come from this time, and the artists I get to cherish now is still that moment that they had moved on. I've been a part of it, so it's cool being a part of something that I have never have. So this is cool to hear her talk about. It's me beats, strings, and vocals. You know, that is so dope. To even hear her mindset of like she didn't even know exactly what it was gonna be called yet, but she's like, I'm still working on it. But she's like, this is what is going on now. So I love the fact that pretty much she's saying like pretty much all that music she was like when she left that band, um, what was the Sugar Canes or Sugar or something? What was it, Sugar? It was something sugar. I don't want to be wrong. The Sugar Cubes, the Sugar Canes, the Sugar Cubes. In '92, I guess she was just working on her own material with either in that time or after the fact, and just working on records, and just being like, okay, I'm gonna put these all out. So because she said it's back catalog, and then Homogenic was like her actively creating what is she feeling in that moment. So that's really dope to like even hear because both of them albums are dope. So it's crazy that she even like saying it. That's back catalog. Like that's crazy. So that means like she pretty much had all those songs. She just chose what to put on either. I mean, I don't know. I'm just kind of going off like as an artist. That's might have what she had been doing, just making like I want to make an album. I'm gonna just keep making music until like I feel like I got what I got, and then I'm gonna just make this and I'm gonna make that before and after. That is really genius.
You know, here, and it's gonna be, instead of like all these different instruments, it's just gonna be beats, strings, and voice.
And that's exactly what it was. Beats, strings, and voice.
Líka, þú veist, ef einhvern tíma myndavélina fara í taugarnar á okkur, þá látið mig vita, af því þetta nummer 1. I knew that this album would be like back to Iceland, sort of what I'm about. But it's very hard to kind of start from complete scratch with no tradition whatsoever. But there were some pioneers who were trying to look at the landscape and the country and try to change that, what they saw and what they felt into audio.
Wenn bestimmte isländische Komponisten isländische Musik komponieren, versuchen sie Geysire und Vulkane zu imitieren. Die Landschaft Islands ist sehr rau. Wir haben nicht so viele Bäume wie hier. Wir haben fast gar keine Bäume. Wir haben viel Lava, viele Vulkane und es gibt viele Ausbrüche. Das Wetter, den Wind und Schneestürme. Nach diesen Tönen hat sie gesucht. Sie will diesen rohen Sound, nicht diesen glatten, europäischen Sound.
To find that voice is very challenging, you know. And it's almost like you have to invent your own roots. And that's one of the reasons why I got the 8 string players. I wanted them all to be Icelandic. Þú veist, mér megi alveg vera, þú veist, svona meiri, það þarf alveg bara vibrato og meira og alveg bara, þú veist, ossalega, þú veist, Mata Hari. Þetta er þannig lag, sko. Svona næstu því eða skilur, má alveg vera, þú veist, svolítið svona.
Sie verwendet oft Quinten. Das ist eine Eigenart traditioneller isländischer Musik. In isländischen Volksliedern werden oft durchgängig Quinten verwendet. Das Bjork, das in ihren Stücken tut, lässt sie sehr isländisch klingen. Die beiden Cellos in Hunter spielen ein 2 Takte langes Motiv, das eine den tieferen Ton und das andere Cello eine Quint höher. Wenn man das hört, erkennt man es gleich als isländisch.
That sounds so good. In the album, it sounds even crazier.
I wrote a song called Hunter.
Yeah,
and it's
Hunter.
based on what my grandmother told me on Christmas about 2 different types of birds who are birds that always have the same nest all their lives, like swans, and they always have the same partners all life. And then there are birds that travel all the time, and they always have different partners all the time. And kind of like to make a conscious decision to stay a hunter. It kind of ended up being a little bit of a bolero, I guess. Maybe because it's Spain. That's the only song with the string arrangement I asked Deodato to do completely.
Wir diskutierten darüber, vielleicht eine Figur in der Art von Ravels Bolero zu versuchen. Im Laufe der Aufnahmen entschieden wir uns dafür, bestimmte Aspekte der Streicherpassagen zu überzeichnen, durch gleitende, schleppende und gebundene Töne.
That's so awesome. People that can write music, like literally write music.
It's so lovely. One person could do a solo on top. One person could do a solo on top. You have to be stunned.
Wenn sie sich an mich wendet, ist alles schon so gut wie fertig. Wenn ich sie richtig verstanden habe, und davon gehe ich aus, wünscht sie sich Farbigkeit, einen menschlichen Faktor in Aufnahmen, die vor allem aus gesampelten und elektronischen Klängen zusammengesetzt sind.
It's good also if we put one take down and have that as well. We come tomorrow and we can listen to it.
Okay.
And then we know what to fix, if that works or not. But at least we put it down. Okay.
Oh my God, I remember this. I was like, it threw me off in a great way. I'm like, what? And I heard the bass coming in like that. And hearing her explain the song Hunter, bars. Yeah, she got so much swag, it's crazy. I wonder was she dressing herself or had a stylist. I feel like she was doing that herself, to be honest. Guess she like listening to her album while she walked on the beach.
I used to work quite a lot with QI20. That's a different machine, but same size. And you have 8 tracks and 100 noises. And you can make as many songs as you want.
Oh, she making beats.
My tunes for the last 4 years I wrote on that. It's so incredibly convenient. Put the batteries in and you can take it. You can write on the airplane or your grand's house on the top of a volcano, or in a club or in a tube. But this is a different machine. This is like a sampler. Mark Bell bought this one and he's just teaching it.
Akustische Instrumente oder irgendwelche Geräusche. Man kann dann die Tonhöhe verändern und aus Geräuschen Musik machen. Zum Beispiel aus einer zuschlagenden Tür einen Drumsound.
What I'd love to do live is kind of put love effects on my voice.
Oh, that's how she was doing that?
I made a conscious choice that the beats for this album will be very simple, almost naive, but still very natural, but very explosive. Like they're still in the making, which for me is very much Iceland. And we would collect very slowly over a period of almost a year, a library of noises.
Oh, wow. So they actually recorded noises.
Iceland is geographically probably the youngest country on the planet. It's still changing and growing and very raw.
They got her driving that. Either that's a Hummer or a Jeep.
At least a few hundred years ago. Then the lava was very thin and went over a big area very quickly. And it went over lakes. And steam broke through because of the pressure, through the new lava. And it made little hills.
I remember I first heard this, I was like, yo, this sounds like one of those, like they tell you not to steal movies.
I wanted the beats to be
soundtrack.
Like this.
I thought that was so dope, that beat.
I'm obsessed with electricity. My dad's an electrician, and my grandfather too. And I've been obsessed since I was a kid with people like Stockhausen, Kraftwerk, Brian Eno.
Kraftwerk.
Electricity has always existed, and it's not just a phenomenon of this century. And it's always been in thunder and lightnings, and in Iceland, the Thorshammer, you know. And acupuncture has been around for 1,000 or 2,000 years. electricity and equipment are just tools. Instead of wood or leather or metal and all these things that we so far made music out of, stroking a string, we're using electricity and to make for the ear. For me, that is probably what I would call techno.
Interesting.
I find it so amazing when people tell me that electronic music has not got soul, and they blame the computers. They got the finger and point at the computer. It's like, there's no soul here. It's like, you can't blame the computer. If there's not soul in the music, it's because nobody put it there.
Right.
And it's not the tool's fault.
You think you deny me of something, well, I've got plenty. You are the one who's missing out, but you won't notice until after 5 years.
I thought this beat was so sick.
If you live that long, you'll wake up all loveless.
So seeing it in the making is so crazy.
I dare you to take me on. I dare you to show me your pulse. I'm so bored of cowards that say they want, then they can't tender.
Es hat seinen Zweck, dass die Drums so hart sind und der Gesang so schön. Dieser Kontrast muss sein. Etwas kann nur schön sein, wenn etwas anderes hässlich ist. Wenn alles schön ist, ist gar nicht schön.
You can't handle love, baby. You can't handle love. Oh, it's obvious you can't handle. I dare you.
Her voice is so good. Because it's so different, like.
Wenn man Isländer kennenlernt, wirken sie erst kalt. Aber dann, wenn sie auftauen, werden sie richtig temperamentvoll.
They playing the hell out that shit too.
You are in all these different moods through 1 week. You are grumpy, you're cheerful, you're stupid, you're delicate, you're complicated, you're moody, and of course there's a song for every occasion, you know.
Joy is the hardest thing of all.
Freude ist am schwierigsten rüberzubringen.
Whether you're a painter,
Ob man nun Maler ist, Filmemacher oder etwas anderes. Es ist leicht, schwarz zu malen, zornig zu sein.
to be angry.
Aber das Ekstatische in ihrer Stimme ist außergewöhnlich.
In her voice is unusual.
I've lost my cards, you deal me another hand. Even when I sleep, you're real. On your way to me, you don't have to speak. I feel this strength I get from you. I rest my hands in your hands, but when I leave you only to
Oh my God. She sounds so good.
Most of my work I do in my head, just when I'm doing other things. And I don't know, it's because I've been doing it for long, or because I spent so many years without recording my songs. I wasn't until 27 I started recording them. It
Wow.
then actually become quite organized in my head, and I got all these different sections and little cupboards and drawers. And I started that idea and I put it in a drawer, and I can come back to it a year later and it will still be there. So I walk in a room and it looks like I'm starting a song, but it's actually, in a way, I've maybe been working on it for a year.
Var þetta ekki miklu betra?
Já. Við getum farið ennþá lengra. Okay. Þetta alveg bara svona sound of music.
So pretty much she already know what she want to do because it's been there. Okay. That is so interesting.
Yeah. I write about one song a month, and it's usually just the theme of that month, like the soundtrack to that month in my life. This is the lyric to a song about my best mate, Yoga. But all the other pages, there's absolutely no way I'll open for you, whatever you offer me, because that's so private, it's scary. And I've got a beautiful secret code, which is called Icelandic. So you guys will never find out what it says in this.
You see what's inside of me. Every nerve that hurts, you heal deep inside of me. Ooh, you don't have to speak. I feel emotional.
This is such an informational video. I learned so much about her. It's crazy.
Number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and all the way up to 73. I'm a pop musician, and I'm making music for everyone, not for VIP or educated people or something like that. So I want to make that. It has to be pop music, you know, that everybody can relate to, and so it's a challenge. It's an experiment, and I haven't got a clue. We'll work on it, but you have to try.
Exactly. I love that. Man, I cannot wait to see what she's doing nowadays. Like, is it further from, or is it closer to, like... Because I can only imagine her, like, kind of going somewhere off the rails with her newer music. This song is good though. Oh, that's it. But man, that was a journey, man. I love this, man. This was very, 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 very educational for me. I learned a lot, heard a lot, and I'm curious going forward further. Bjork is officially my new favorite one of my new favorite artists in my wall of favorite artists, for sure. This is crazy. guys, so that was it for the reaction video of the making of Homogenic. We learned so much. We learned about post. Oh, hold on. We learned about post. We learned about debut. We learned about how they came together and how they. I mean, that was so much information. That was so much information, and just seeing how she was really like making music for that long, and finally was like, okay, I'm gonna put these out, and it's gonna be debut and it's gonna be post before and after, and then do something that's like, oh, this is currently how I'm feeling today, and just her saying like she didn't start making music and recording music till she was 27 is wild. That is wild. Like really peep that. 27 she started like recording music. But she been making music and having stuff in her mind for years, and she started in school classical music for school. I'm just doing too much because I'm overstimulated. But the fact that she started classical school at 5 years old for 10 years of her life, that's crazy. That is crazy. And then the Sugar Kings group she was a part of, and then after that, a year later, she created debut. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy just seeing her journey. I thought she was just making music or whatever. I knew she, y'all said that she was in school for classical music, but I thought that's when after that she started and just went on. Like, so that's cool to hear and see all of what developed her now, and that's why I'm saying I'm so curious to see where she has gone and where she will go the further on to the new albums. And because I don't hear people talk about her new albums that much, so I'm very curious to see, is it totally different or is it something that's like the same but maybe more Icelandic? I don't know. I'm not sure at all. I don't know if it's just instrumentation or is it both or is it way out of experimentation, you know what I'm saying? Is it orchestra fully? Her newest project that's coming out next month looks like it's a combustion of everything. I don't know. I haven't even heard anything new from her, but I can't wait to get to it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that reaction. I appreciate y'all for watching if you watched. Until next time, until the next reaction, and to the next video.